Hi, so this workout is going to focus on abdominal strength, both in stability and in compression. We're also going to include some exercises for your glutes, so all-round stabilizing exercise. Before we get started, our first exercise does require a timer, so if you've got a phone or a stopwatch or anything where you can record time, we're going to need it for the first exercise. Okay. So the first exercise, once we've grabbed a hold of our timer, is dish. So what this is, kind of like a dead bug in Pilates. What we're going to do is a couple of options. All of these exercises can be modified with, if you have a sore lower back or any kind of lower back pain, just by bending the knees or really imprinting or flattening the lower back on the floor. Okay, so if you have a sore lower back, then go ahead, keep the legs bent, keep the legs high, especially for this exercise, and keep the abdominals braced down towards the floor. So before we even think about lifting the legs, what I want you to really focus on is drawing the abdominals down. Now that doesn't mean opening the ribs and sucking the abdominals in. We keep the ribs nice and soft, and we just draw the abdominals down. A little visual cue for this is to think of like a drawstring bag, and just as we're tightening it, that is the feeling that we want for our abdominals. Not just from the front going down, we want to really focus on coming from around the back, corset muscle drawing everything in. Transverse abdominis, aka the corset muscle, so it comes from around the back, draws everything in. It's the deep abdominal muscles that we want to be working to stabilize the spine, protect the lower back, and keep the body nice and healthy, nice and happy. So, positioning of the legs. Glue the legs together. We can bring the knees in towards the chest. Version 1. Version 2. Version 3. Version 4. So version 4 is kind of anywhere where the legs are lower. Okay, lower and extended. So again, 1, 2, 3, anywhere for 4. We're going to reach the arms up. Again, just the same. Instead of having the arms bent, we keep the arms straight. We go 1. And then as we become more comfortable with this exercise, we can really focus on pushing the abdominals down and reaching the arms in the opposite direction. Okay? We're going to keep this position nice and elevated. We're going to do it 3 times, and we're going to do it for 30 seconds. Okay? 3 times, 30 seconds. If you want, hold on to your phone. Make sure you don't drop on your face. That would be absolutely terrible. We've done that before. It's so painful. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Set your legs, set your arms. Okay, so I'm just going to have to guess when it gets to 30 seconds. Okay, I'm going to have to pick my hands here. If you have something that kind of makes a noise when you hit 30 seconds, then definitely do that instead. Again, always note that the legs can be bent. Even if the legs are away from you, pull the abdominals in, lengthen the arms and the legs out. If we can, we have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing everything up. Rolling the shoulders out. I'm going to set myself a timer so that it actually does go off in 30 seconds. I don't have to look at my phone. Roll those shoulders back. Ooh. One of my favourite exercises. Okay, let's come back. 2 more rounds. Here we go. Again, legs bent. Much easier, much kinder on the body. Really focus on pulling the abdominals in and down. Not so much again, sucking the rib cage up. So for me, in this exercise, no matter where I am, my legs and my body always shakes. And what I really want you to find is that shake, that kind of earthquake feeling. We really want to focus on pulling everything down. The deeper muscles are working nice and heavy. Good, bringing yourself up. Great. Let's take again a little bit of a rest. Just also being aware, this exercise really does tell you a lot about the shape of your spine. So for example, I know that I am very lordotic, which means that I have an extended or an excessive, curvature of my lower back. Yeah. If you are something which is called kyphotic, you have an excessive curvature of your upper back, causing you to round. So just being aware that if you are excessively lordotic, you're going to find this really difficult, but it's something that we need to start doing in order to keep the back nice and happy. 1 more set, here we go. Pull the knees in, reach the arms, reach the legs, Challenge yourself here if we can. Keep this all pulled in. We never want to allow space between the lower back and the floor. Pull everything in. Even if that means bringing the legs up, really think about pressing the lower back in towards the floor. Keep breathing, keep shaking. Lovely. Bringing yourself all the way up. Great. Getting rid of the timer. We no longer need it. And what we're going to do is we're going to come into a swimming exercise. So we are going to do this 8 times on each side. I'm going to bring myself up into an all fours position. This exercise is really eye-opening to how the middle of the body moves and how we shift from side to side. Okay? So what we're going to do in this position, draw the abdominals up, again from around the back of the body. Placing the hands on the floor, draw the abdominals, back is nice and flat. First version, slide your left arm forward, making sure that the knees are underneath your hips. Slide your left arm forward, right leg back. Once we feel comfortable, we can breathe in to lift. Breathe out to bring it down. Change sides. Breathing in. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen before we lift. Breathing in. And breathing out. Continue. The music has stopped, so breathing in to lengthen everything out. And then breathing out to bring everything in. Good. We've got 6 more times. Breathing in, lengthen everything out. And then breathing out to bring everything in. Good. Breathing in, lengthen everything out. And back in. Good again. The focus on this is to not allow the lower back to drop down as we do this. Good. Let's just do 3 more times on each side. Two more. Press the hand into the floor so we avoid any kind of dropping down. Last one each side. One more. And bring it down. Press yourself back into a child's pose. Good, not too long of a rest here. Place our hands underneath. Roll yourself all the way up. You're going to bring yourself down onto your back. And we're going to bring our feet flat on the floor. So, from here, an exercise that is very simple in practice, but actually really difficult to execute properly. So you're going to place your hands down on the front of your belly, and this is just going to give you a little bit of feedback for your abdominals. Sometimes what happens is as we lift, this also lifts up with it. And what we want to do is avoid that. So what we're not thinking about doing here, unless you have lower back pain, is flattening or imprinting the lower back on the floor so we have no gap. What we want to try and do is strengthen the back in this natural position. So for me, I can get my hands underneath it. Some people might just be able to get their fingers, some people might not be able to get anything at all. Okay? And what we want to do is start to strengthen the front of our body to protect the back of our body in its most natural position. And again, without that, we can also flatten the lower back on the floor if our lower back is sore. Okay, so we have 2 different options for the back. From there, hands staying nice and rested, elbows down on the floor, keep the chest, the collarbone nice and wide. From there, pull the abdominals down. As we breathe out, we then breathe in, keep the abdominals drawing down. We lift that right leg up towards a tabletop position. Tabletop, knees stacked, shin parallel to the floor. From there, we breathe in, we breathe out. We lift the left leg up to meet it as well. Breathe in, lower the right. We breathe in, we lower the left. One more time, breathing in. Through the ribs, breathing out, draw everything in. Breathing into the ribs. Breathing out, lift everything up. And again, breathing in. Breathing in. Lovely. We're going to do a little bit faster. We're going to breathe in. I'm going to breathe out to change. Right leg lowers and my left leg lifts. We keep this tabletop position. We breathe in. We breathe out. We breathe in. And we breathe out. We breathe in. And we breathe out. 2 more times each side, just let the arms relax if we can. Breathing in. And again. And breathing out. Lovely. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Roll yourself up to standing and just give yourself a little bit of a rounded across the back, whether that's here, wherever it is that we need it to be. So we're going to come into 2 more abdominal exercises, single leg stretch and double leg stretch. So we hug the right knee in towards the chest, we extend the left leg either up towards the ceiling or anywhere down towards the floor. Yeah, we don't allow it to relax on the floor, of course. We take slight pressure with the hands, keeping the chest, the collarbones and the elbows nice and wide. Okay, from there, we breathe in to change, and we breathe out. We breathe in, and we breathe out. We breathe in, and we breathe out. Cool, got it? So keep the legs nice and still, and then what we're going to do, breathing in, lengthen through the crown of the head, breathing out, curl up. Repeat with the legs. We breathe in, and out. Breathing in. The leg can be here. Breathing in. Four more each side. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and lovely. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Allow the head to roll down. That was single leg stretch, double leg stretch. So we're going to hug both knees in towards the chest, lengthen the legs out to a 45-degree angle. Again, legs can be directly up towards the ceiling or bent if the lower back is sore. So hugging the knees in to here, for example, or hugging in here, or if we can, hugging in straight out. Arms, we hug the knees in, gentle pressure on the tops of the shins. We then take our hat off, press our hands up, we take the arms up and overhead, we pull the abdominals down, we circle the arms, we pull everything in. So, pulling everything in. If you want to, what we are going to do is take that curl up as the knees come in towards the chest. We've got 4 more here. And 3. 2. Last one. Hug it in, bring yourself up, roll yourself over. Again, if we need to, reach the arms up, take a nice full body stretch as we bring it all the way forward. Roll yourself all the way up. You're going to bring yourself down onto your front. So, we've worked on the muscles at the front. We've worked on stabilising the front of the body and the back of the body. Now we're going to do the same thing, but just from the back of the body to the front. So we're going to come into glute pulses here. Hands are going to rest down. You can either take one hand on top of the other or into a little triangle. Resting the head down, slide the shoulders away from the ears. What we do here, keeping the left leg relaxed, we bring right leg up towards the ceiling or we flex. If you need to, tuck the toes of that left leg underneath. We're going to press ourselves up and down. Very, very small exercise. Really see if we can press straight up and not across. Yeah, we're going to do 10 on each side. Pull the abdominals away, we press up. And it's very, very small. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed.
Lovely, change sides. Also just realise that you can either keep it bent or slightly straighten it, okay? Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. The abdominals are not too tense, but what we're not doing is allowing ourselves to sink into our lower back, okay? Very small movements. Great, lovely. Bringing it down, same thing but with legs turned out and straight. So big toes on the floor. We lengthen either just one leg or both legs if we can. One leg, 10 each side, both legs, 10 together. So breathe in to lengthen, squeeze the glutes, lifting up and down. If we need to, we're also going to come to this position. Just be aware again that we don't sink into the lower back. Pull the abdominals away, we're lifting up and down. Of course you don't get as much as a lift, but if we're not comfortable lying down on the floor for whatever reason, that's the option we're going to give you. Again, see if we can keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. Good way to check is if we can keep the shoulders moving as we lift. One more here. Lovely. And just bringing yourself back all the way up through into a child's pose. Great, lovely. Bringing yourself back down onto your back. So we have a couple of options here. Both feet down on the floor. Roll the pelvis up and under, squeeze through the glutes, lift ourselves up into a stage 1 shoulder bridge. Okay. Stage 2, grabbing a chair, placing your heels on the chair. So if I do it so that you can, so you want to do this so that it is against a wall, just to make sure that we don't press the chair and fall over. Press the heels in towards the chair, which go in towards the wall. We keep the body, if we can, in one unit. We're not thinking too much about pressing and rolling through, because then that takes us too high. What we're going to think about doing, pressing the heels, engaging through the hamstrings and the glutes, lifting up as one unit. Yeah. So again, we're not going to come to a straight line, but what I do want you to think about doing is once we reach the top towards our shoulders, squeeze the glutes, press the glutes forward. So the body will almost kind of go like this and then this. Yeah. Squeeze the glutes if you can. You might feel this in the hamstrings. If you've got issues with your lower back, you might feel it in the lower back as well. Let's do 6 more here. One more here. Good, lovely. Bringing it down. Hugging the knees in towards the chest. Round and through the back. Bringing yourself all the way up. If you use the chair, just placing that to one side. We're coming into our final exercise, single leg deadlift. So, left leg forward. We're going to bend the legs, especially the standing leg, and we're going to bring our weight forward. So the back leg can sit on the floor and just go back and up, back and up. You also have the option of lifting it away from the floor, but don't think about lifting it too high. Okay? Arms are going to come straight down, out to the side, forward, whatever it is that works for you to keep your balance and keep your length. Standing leg is never going to straighten or lock out. It's always going to be bent. So we're going to do 10 on one leg. Again, we can go down 1, 2, or we can lift that leg and find a balance. 1 and 4, 5, one more balance, 6 and 7, 8, 2 more, 9, last one, 10. Bring it up, change sides. Step that leg back, reach it forward again, down or up. We have 10, 9, 8, 7. The more we actively lift through that back leg, the more of a challenge, the more of a squeeze we can get in that leg. We have 4 more, 4, 3, 2, last one, lovely. Bring it up, roll those shoulders out, shake those legs out. Whew. So our stability workout for our abs and our glutes is all done. Hopefully we have found some exercises in that program that can keep this nice and strong, protect the lower back, and also switch on the glutes. Sometimes a lot of lower back pain, if that's what we're suffering with, can come from an inactivity of glutes, okay? Inactivity here means posture kind of all over the place. Pull it back in, we're in a good position to get moving.